guess I'm finally going to make a real video. It's going to be terrible because I have no microphone and this is being filmed on my cell phone, so sorry. If you own a Turbo Regal, specifically a thoroughly trashed example of one, this probably looks familiar to you. And if it doesn't, just wait. Okay, with that out of the way, this is my 1987 Buick Regal Turbo T. It's in a bit of a pickle at the moment. And I want to preface this by saying trashed example. I mean like trashed. This car is pretty rough. And I can't be overly surprised at engine trouble after, well, 3 years of my ownership and who knows how long before that of making pretty much twice as much power as it did from the factory. The wiring was disgusting. It was leaking oil like a Buick, so from every possible mating surface on the engine. See that crowning jewel of the entire car that cost me an ungodly amount of money? Circle D 245 millimeter triple disc lockup converter on the 4L80E that's been swapped in. So what I'm going to do is, since it had to come out anyways, I'm going to go ahead and rip this engine harness out, fuel lines, everything, and do the usual detail, get all this crap scraped out of here, get it cleaned up. I'm actually going to drop the transmission and send that converter in. I need to get it tightened up just a little bit. But I'm going to try to untrash some of it. We had a rapidly decreasing unscheduled oil pressure event with this engine. I think all I'm going to do tonight to keep this pretty short is we're just going to try to get the heads off of it. I was told when I bought this car a few years ago that these were ported heads and that it's got a comp 260H in it, flat tappet, and that it's a stock bottom end. It's actually a 140, not a 109 block, which, if I am correct, is an mid to late 1985 model year. So this is a hot air block. So it might not even have a turbo crank in it. So I guess let me set the camera up and we'll just get these heads off tonight and see what we got. All right, I think that'll work. Good enough. Okay, let's see. If I can remember where I put anything, that'd be a good start. Okay, it's kind of an odd era for GM as we sort of transitioned from into the metric era of things. This car and this engine have a bit of a conglomerate of standard and metric fasteners. Well, let's peel this valley pan off first. I mean, it's definitely been in. Yeah, it's fairly clean, but I guess I should expect that. An engine that shouldn't have very many miles on it. When I got this a few years ago, the car ran pretty good. It was a low 12-second car for a while, which isn't screaming by modern standards, but it did okay. Actually went through a couple of transmissions finally decided that if I was really going to turn up the wick, get aggressive, I wanted to do something nice. So I went ahead and did a swap to a 4L80E. I'm just running that manually right now, but I've been pretty happy with that so far. But of course, pretty much as soon as I got that figured out and was ready to start trying to make some real power, started losing oil pressure and had some shiny oil and all bad stuff. I decided to just go ahead and pull it out before I ran it into a catastrophic failure. No point in costing myself more money. Okay. I think our rocker shafts are 10mm as well. Yep. I don't know what the actual correct procedure is for these, but it's like my experience with the Buick big blocks. I just kind of try to take the pressure off of them evenly, so I'm not flexing the rocker shaft too bad. Not in too bad a shape, really, that I can see. Just gonna set everything off camera over here for now. I will go through and organize everything later. Look like a pretty factory style of push rod. And they probably are. Guess it just wants to sit that way. That's fine. Well, if these heads are ported, they didn't do much. Does look like there's been some work in the bowl. I'll have to take them apart. Let's see, I'm gonna wipe my hands off here. Okay. ARP head bolts. That's something. Let's see. Let's go. Man. To get the 1/2-inch drive. Probably. Well, we've already made a mess. Let's carry on, shall we? Yeah, we're factory valve sizes for sure. Nothing that's been done that I can really see from that. Factory piston. Cylinders. There's a little bit of wear. Looks like the Velcro, probably the, yeah, it is, 9441. (9441) PT. It's a composite gasket for the turbo engine. Well, I'll get you off of here. Take a quick look at it and we'll wrap this up. Bad lighting. Nothing much really to talk about. There's no big ridge, but there is a little bit of wear in the cylinder. So that might end up being 10 or 20 over. I didn't have any obvious flat lifters. We'll pull these all out in the next video and check. But it was, everybody was opening and closing like normal at the time that I started having problems. So I don't think that's what's going on, but we'll find out for sure. I think I'm just going to call it here for the night.